Devin Burgess, Frank
Frank
King,
Shane Schruff.
Shane.
Yep.
What are you doing here? Who are you, and what do you do for a living?
That is classified. If I have to tell you, then I'd also have to kill you.
That's all right. I've had a long life.
I am a family nurse practitioner. I work at Men's Total Health, located in Metairie. Treat primarily low testosterone. Also a Air Force and Army veteran, avid customer here at Jefferson Gun, and a avid secret closeted weapons freak.
So you fall right into our grass, man. We lost touch for a minute there, and then right when we were doing this podcast, you texted me about some stuff, and I needed to get you in here. I hadn't seen you in a while, and I love talking to you.
Yeah, no,
You're
same
a funny
here.
dude, and we always have good shit to talk about. And I hadn't spoken to anybody on the podcast really about COVID or things that people can be doing which is going to get into my story in a minute on how I got kind of screwed over. I had COVID like 2 months ago, and who better to talk to than somebody that knows a whole lot more about medicine than I do. Most of it, I'm sure, is still speculation because it's so new.
I think the majority of it is.
Yeah.
And I'm probably the wrong person to ask on this show because, from Kevin and some of our mutual friends, most of my friends call me Dr. Doom. Point blank, say what it is.
Well, that's the best part, right? Isn't that what you should be doing?
So you like WebMD?
You goddamn right. No, WebMD's
Cancer.
WebMD's schizophrenic. Like him and freaking what's the guy, Dr. Oz?
Yeah.
Patients come in all the time. Well, Dr. Oz told me this. I'm like, well, goddamn it, get Dr. Oz to write the goddamn prescription.
Right.
You know?
Why does he always say you're just dead?
No, Dr. Oz always has. And look, he's got a good homeopathic approach.
He's got a TV show and shit, doesn't he?
Yeah, but
he's
So does Dr. Phil, and he's not a psychiatrist anymore.
He's commercialized. You know what I mean? He does it for ratings and whatever. I don't put any weight into any of those guys anymore.
So what? I'm more interested in the past and the future, not so much the present. I don't know why my brain is odd like that. I guess.
That's okay.
So when this, let's take you back to February and March of 2020.
I caught it in February.
Oh, did
March.
you?
Yeah, it's about 6 months recovery time for me.
Holy
Whoa.
shit!
Wasn't respiratory. It was mostly.
It came with your butt.
While I was getting my pap smear done, I had significant mental fog and lower extremity weakness. It's called dyspnea on exertion. I would get winded from just walking 50 steps.
Did you know what COVID was when?
No, I didn't. I initially thought I had the flu. I dismissed it right about the time the self-isolation orders came down where everybody just stopped working in society. My significant other and I are fortunate. We have a piece of property over in Covington, isolated for 4 months, and I was still suffering probably for another 6 weeks after that.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, I got. It's funny enough, a few of us that do the podcast, when back in the good old days when it wasn't so structured, we just got really wasted and talked about the shit about what we did when we were kids. But a lot of us got it, and 2 of us out of the 5 got really sick. I got really sick. I was my blood. I bought one of those things from
Pulse ox.
Yeah. And I called Tina, who's Mike's wife, because she's a nurse, and I was like, look, I'm really sick. I can't move. All my organs hurt. What should I let this go down to before I go to the hospital? And she was like, anything below 90, you're in trouble. It was 80.
Below 90? Your health status right now? I said below
I think
90.
she might have said 95 or 96 or something. It was in the 90s, though.
Bleeding from the anus is bad.
Yeah, so it was 80. And it was the second day, so I was really sick for like two days.
Your mortality rate was significantly increased for a little while. 80%.
Well, I don't know what this piece of shit was. It came out of a gumball machine.
It doesn't matter.
I put it on my finger, and it was one of the numbers was fairly good from whatever she was saying. One of them was 80, and that was the oxygen levels.
The other one was your pulse.
Yeah. My pulse was good, I guess. It was relatively high, but it was not. She wasn't worried about that number. She was worried about the 80 number.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to the hospital. I wrote it out for another day.
You're like, fuck it, I'll die.
Yeah,
on my sofa.
I felt really bad, but I didn't think I was dead. Well, I knew I was sick. I was really sick. And then, I was really sick. But I went to, when I got tested, I didn't feel great. When I got tested, they tested me for 4 things, and my nose was bleeding. Mm-hmm. They stuck that thing down in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I lost. I can't remember anything past 20 years old. They scrambled my brain. And they did that with
punctured your frontal lobe.
They tested me for COVID. They tested me for
flu.
They tested me for strep. That was the mouth one, and then they did another one. But 3 nose, 1 mouth, and I was bleeding, man. They shoved that thing down. But yeah, he came out in his hazmat suit. He said, "You got COVID. Here's your prescription."
Prescription for what?
Z-Pack. That probably doesn't do anything. Right. So so this brings me to my next point, and which is your next question. So wait a minute, God bless WebMD.
Okay.
So I go on, and I know I'm dead in about a day or 2 after WebMD, but I am. Some stuff's coming up that you need to take zinc. After I started taking
vitamin D.
I got
D and zinc.
I got D, C, zinc, and something else. And after I started taking vitamins, after that day or 2, I felt so much better. So much better. I mean, 100% better almost.
That's
why don't they tell people?
They do. I tell people.
No, not you. The people that are on the news that don't say anything about fitness, that don't say anything about smoking, that don't say anything about vitamin taking. I mean, maybe now they do. We're doing this in January 2021.
You know where I heard about the vitamin D thing? I heard it on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Well, there
Dude,
you go.
I fucking love Joe Rogan.
And welcome to our podcast. It's much worse than Joe Rogan's, but we would, we're working on it.
Get Rogan over here with some psilocybin.
Well, it's funny because he, I listened to something about that too, that he was doing with someone who's much more knowledgeable in the medical field, and he was saying they said something about vitamin C. A couple of days later, and there's fucking no vitamin C. Joe Rogan probably sold $1 billion worth of vitamin C overnight.
The guy is a fucking rock star.
I said, I need some vitamin C. And they're like, well, we got C13. I was like, what the fuck's that do? I don't want that. I want the good stuff. Well, we got in the back, we got some C7 and some C.
They're hoarding it.
That's right. That's a new currency.
Like, what your shit's at? I want the good stuff, C. They're like, no, there's no C in the country
Got
anymore.
12 packs of Emergen-C.
But why is nobody...
That's Sue, dude. Yeah.
Emergen-C?
Yeah.
What's in that that's not good?
It's not that it's not good. They got sued for, I think, false advertisement or leading customers into thinking that it was boosting their immune system. There's no direct evidence-based medicine to support it.
Really?
Yeah, and your question, it really comes back to... first, that's a day late and a dollar short, right? You're already on your deathbed and you're going to start doing supplements and trying to watch your health in. So that's the dichotomy of medicine in America today, is that patients will walk into the room and say, oh, I got this, and that. But when you tell them how to correct it on themselves, they're like, well, I don't fucking have time to do that.
Right.
Give me a script for this, or that. I'm like, the fuck out of my office.
Give me a pill.
Right.
To make it go away.
That's just not going to happen.
Once
right?
I already have it.
Right. Well, and the goal there would be...
But I mean, I didn't even hear it in the beginning where I think they knew that some vitamin supplementation would help.
You're talking a broad swipe there. Vitamin...
But I mean, I've never heard it on the news that you should have a little bit of exercise. If you're smoking, why don't you just cut back on that until this COVID thing blows over? Take some vitamins. I've never heard that.
Can I play devil's advocate for a
Absolutely. Second? I love the devil.
First, me too.
He gets me in trouble all the time.
That's my dog passenger.
He's all right.
First, that should be common sense, right? Your body's a machine. Just like your car, if you don't change your oil, rotate and balance your tires, get your brakes done, your car is going to fucking fall apart. Your body's the same way. Second, the media sucks. I hate and I say this, I hate those bastards. I really do.
They're causing a civil war in a minute.
They are. They not only because they're shifted to the left. Look, that's their right to have that opinion. But when you do it to purposely manipulate things and to stir controversy just because it brings in marketing dollars, they should be.
Well, they're gasping at they're gasping for air. I think it's they're slowly dying.
I hope so.
From podcasts, from long form discussion, from other, they got commercials. Everybody talks in that bullshit way of, welcome backwards, Channel 7, and back to weather. And that's not how people talk. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody believes you when you talk like that. And then they're cut every 10 minutes with commercials. If they have somebody on, they interview him for 2 minutes. They cut it in one sound bite that usually pillars
and excuse it.
Right. That's why I think.
And usually the best part of the show is when we come back, this is what we're going to talk about. And that's like 10 commercials down the road.
Right.
As soon as we get back, we're going to talk about this.
I think today's media in general is almost equivalent to having a lobotomy performed. People don't think for themselves anymore. Going back to your question, if that should be common sense for me, regardless of your age or health, IQ or status, or even the quality of your life, you should know inherently that whatever you put in your body is a product of what you're going to become. If you don't exercise, you don't stretch, you don't watch what you eat. And I'm not talking about abstinence. Nobody can do something 100%, right? That just sets everybody up for failure, and that's another problem with medicine. Maybe we can do a podcast on that one day. You have to give somebody realistic goals. And you as a human being, as a man, especially the type of guys that we are, we break down our weapons, oil, clean them. We practice our shooting skills all the time. Why not do the same thing for your body? Before COVID hit, were you thinking anything on your health IQ, on how to protect your life or the longevity or the quality of your health status?
Basic stuff. I work out every night. Basic stuff, push-ups and sit-ups and stuff. Not many. More, less than I should do.
But more than the average person that walks through my door.
Well, yeah.
I mean, for years,
never works
I've always taken a multivitamin. I've always taken.
This is Lou Ferrigno, right? That's sitting over here. You should see this guy. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I feel skinny right now.
Well, thanks. I was sitting next to him once a week for the last 4 weeks. But
I might have to take Prozac right now.
Did you get COVID? Mm-mm. I think we talked about this last time.
If I did, I didn't know I had it.
Yeah. And then, okay, so here's another thing I learned today.
What's that?
Which I think it might be, and again, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but we learned that a member of Chelsea, my wife's family, his mother, father, grandmother, all have COVID. He's the only, he's the last, he has no other siblings. And his son has COVID, who's one. And they are all super sick. So
like hospitalized sick?
3, yeah.
Really?
The mother, the father, the grandmother. And the mother and the grandmother, I believe, are unresponsive on vents.
Comorbidities?
Oof.
Did they have high blood pressure, diabetes?
We just found this out. It's just sad, but I think could it have something to do with, it's just a super strange virus, man.
See, I actually stopped taking my heart medication when all the whole
Because
thing came out. I stopped taking it because I was like, I don't want it to lower anything that might cause me to have a problem if I do catch it.
You probably should not tell me things like that. I stopped taking my heart medication.
But they gave it to me to like.
They started doing coke and stopped taking heart medication.
It would stop the right half from compensating for the decreased electricity in the left half. Is what they gave it to me for. It's
probably
blood pressure medication.
Do you remember the name of it?
Well,
let me just say this, general broad swipe here. If you're on a cardiac thyroid, any type of especially endocrine or cardiac medication, you should never just stop it.
Well,
the doctor told you that?
Told me what?
Wing that.
No, I just winged it.
Okay, that's what I figured.
We all do it, right?
But it's so
self-experimentation.
What do you subscribe at all? And again.
But see, now I've always also had a lot of sinus issues. Like I've always had sinus infections really bad. I've always had issues. And before the whole COVID thing, I mean, I had gotten emergency and all this stuff to take because I had a really bad cold. And I felt like I was going to die. Like it was horrible. worst I had ever had. So I may have had it way back when, before it even became a thing.
Yeah.
But even right now, like week after next, I'm going to have
Septoplasty.
polyps burned out of my nasal passages
Wow.
that I've had done twice already.
They did a CT series on you. You check for a deviated septum or anything like that.
I just had a CAT scan done last week, and they showed these two pockets right here that he said, now those are supposed to be black, and they were completely gray, like
Wow.
completely filled up. So right now I'm just on a lot of Afrin.
Yeah.
He didn't prescribe it, right?
No,
Yeah, you'll get rebound from that.
yeah, he told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you're gonna be dead soon.
No, next week. I
YOLO.
mean, week after next, I'm getting it all cleaned out.
The next one's got to be better than this one, right?
Yeah, it can't be much
100%.
worse.
You're not taxed. You don't have to listen to the media. I don't have a,
Hopefully there's no TV.
yeah, and hopefully there's not
probably missed TV,
a
though.
dementia president
I was
getting
telling-
ready to rule the country.
That's what we talked about last time.
Pursuit of
Oh,
rule.
it's such a goddamn disaster.
Hillary Clinton
So
still
when
sucks
you,
ass.
when that's funny.
Sorry.
When you, hey, truth is the truth. When you went to your cabin for 4 months, were you thinking that
I was
this
gonna
was
die.
the big one?
No.
No, not that you were gonna die, but that this was. You ever seen the movie Contagion?
Yeah.
Were you
Oh,
thinking
shit.
that?
Dude, look, that's fantasy. Like, I wish something like
Do
that
you
would
think?
happen. No.
I think that's closer to reality. You don't think so?
I mean, for a
I
global,
was worried that this was that,
for a global
and that
pathogen.
50%
Yes.
of the people are going to be dead in 6 months.
I think that's a realistic outcome in our near future. But to turn into zombies and all that other
Well,
crap,
no. Contagion was like a. Well, I guess it was kind of like this.
Yeah.
I think it was like a bird or a bat and a pig or something that.
You know?
that
Oh, dude, that had I know what movie you're talking about.
Yeah,
Neil.
yeah,
the
good
blonde
movie.
haired girl.
Yeah, she was in a Shallow Hal, and she was in
Yes.
the superhero movie with.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in it.
Gwyneth
and,
Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow,
Yeah.
yeah, and Matt Damon.
Yep.
Yeah, good movie.
Matt Damon, another liberal.
Yeah.
Vagina.
He loves guns but hates guns. Loves guns in movies.
Lisinopril, 5 milligrams.
That's my heart medicine.
That's a low dose Lisinopril.
Why are you on heart medicine?
Because he's
Because
got
I
a
have
big heart.
bundle branch block,
Oh yeah.
which is it sounds a lot worse than what they say.
He's
You
got
know,
a pig heart.
just the electricity on one side of my heart's not as strong as the other side.
I got a cat that roams around my
rooted
house.
to
I
the
can give you a
filter.
cat heart.
Wait.
They said in the future, I may need a pacemaker.
That's all right. Just grab a wall socket.
Bionic.
Yep. That's
So you
right.
didn't think that at all?
No,
Why though?
I think people treated it like that, like they start freaking the fuck out. Like,
Yeah, I thought
I can't
thought
walk
that
out.
that was a
Dude, I've seen
possibility.
people not only driving with masks on, I've seen people going out their front doors with masks on. I'm like, what the fuck?
What about
like,
jogging through the park with masks
See,
on?
that's just stupid.
I was like, the guy needs to be hit in the head with a bat.
Yeah, I still see people driving alone in the car.
The whole
And-
family.
and sometimes,
The whole family in the car with masks.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have a mask on because you got to go everywhere with a mask, like in a grocery store, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll kind of forget that it's on. So for the first minute, maybe I'll have it on, and then I'll notice it's on. I'll take it off. But
Yeah, I know.
I always see people with
It's like having a
masks
scarlet
on.
letter posted
Yeah.
on your chest,
Right.
you know.
I dated this nurse for a period of time, just real quick.
By a
this
period of time, you mean
LPRN,
one night.
and she would post stuff on her Facebook page.
Okay.
She would
Wait,
post stuff on her.
she?
She.
No.
Wait, are we talking about
I
Tony?
dated.
That's a joke. I know. I'm making fun of
But
you.
she would post up on her Facebook like, if you drive around with your mask on in your car, I'm not your friend anymore.
She fired?
No.
Yeah.
She did get banned from Ochsner though for posting some stuff she shouldn't have.
Dude, love Auctioner to send my patients there, but I'd
cancel
get fired
culture,
in the
man,
first
gets
week.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's medicine today, though.
So what are you worried about in the future that has different characteristics? I mean, obviously a higher mortality rate, but or a larger R naught or whatever they call that. But
I'm more worried about the imposed restrictions from the government and the healthcare community as a whole that are
They
unwarranted.
know what's best for you,
Oh yeah, they do.
don't they?
Yeah, that's how they spend my tax dollars, determine what's best for me.
Well, they also determine gender research in Asia with your support
they signed a.
Well, you guys are
executive
gonna
order
flip a
that-
switch on me in about 5 seconds, and all you're gonna hear is "fuck" out of my head.
Hey, we let it fly here at the Two Shots In podcast.
Damn it!
We goddamn, what was I just thinking about?
That was that last, stimulus bill was, 600 million or whatever it was to Asia for gender studies.
Don't get started.
So you're not
I
worried
might stroke out right now.
too much about a future, a worse pandemic that may or may not have been created in a lab in China. That what do you think about that?
I have no idea. I don't.
Have you see? It's so crazy to try to even research that kind of shit because it's so skewed and
can't.
bullshit.
Dude, so when Biden won, I went on Google to pull up trash on whatever. Couldn't find it. 5 pages in, couldn't find anything. I mean, instantaneously gone. I just, that's why I stepped out of
Well,
the
that's
ring.
because Google and Facebook and everybody else, they scrub everything.
It's censorship.
Yeah.
I remember a country that started like that a long time ago. I think they did something
3 of
like,
them.
"Hey!"
3 of them, yeah.
right?
Yep.
To the
China
gas
under
chambers.
Mao, and then
China's still like that.
or China's still like that, not to the. Well, yeah, they're still like that. Yeah, we were talking about Soviet era Russia, man. That's probably nobody knows about it. That's probably worse than, as far as deaths, than the Nazi Germany under Hitler.
Nazi was just public about it. You know what I mean? And what they're doing, I think, is akin to that, and they're using it under the guise of COVID or whatever. The extremist right.
Cold War Russia.
Yeah, it's always
terrifying.
great when people devolve into groups and then hate one another and then enact laws against
money.
those groups.
It's
Yeah,
money.
it'll work out well.
Happens in Afghanistan all the time.
Look at the whole 20th century.
Oh, I definitely should have smoked weed before I came in here
I know,
tonight.
it makes it better.
Oh, you can't smoke weed in Louisiana. The medical marijuana program, it's only tincture. No
What does that
edibles.
mean?
Tincture is
Okay,
a
edibles?
no, it's just a liquid. You can only do the droplets. They don't have edibles or smoking.
That'd be a good business to get on the
What?
ground floor.
Yeah, if you knew the right people, you didn't matter how much money you had, you could
Yeah,
get into that.
Aren't dispensaries, even the ones in Colorado and everything else, still against federal law? Right?
Still against federal law, but the state, inside the state, they can't. And I get that question a lot from patients that work for a state level company, if they can do it or not, and it's really up to the company whether they fire you or not. Once it becomes federal, then it'd be discrimination.
So you had COVID, you know you had it, or you think you had it?
So when I went and saw my primary and then the cardiologist and then the ER twice and then the respiratory,
They just didn't know what it was.
They didn't, but the testing, so the time span between when I initially presented with the significant symptoms to when I actually had my first test, I tested negative 5 times. Even for antibodies. So I did the blood plus the nasal. Yeah.
But they don't test for COVID-19. They test for the family of COVID
Correct.
viruses, right?
Correct. Yeah. My first symptom was olfactory. My sense of smell was 100% decimated.
Wow.
Which was a blessing initially because when my dogs fought,
Now, does
Dude,
that mean you
I'm
couldn't
telling you.
smell anything?
I couldn't smell anything.
This is the strange part about mine. Everything smelled like chlorine.
Really?
Yeah. Like, have you ever...
Do you have seizures also?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, you ever go into a pool and then, like, you go into a cold
I think it was
house
Chelsea
and you
trying-
smell that?
Chelsea
That's
was
what-
trying to kill him.
Or
She was-
disinfect every
She was
day.
putting chlorine in his food.
Every time I woke up, I had a knot on my head. There was
Munchausen syndrome shit. She's
Underwear
keeping him
down by
sick.
your ankles. You're like, why do I have Vaseline on my ass?
My butt hurt every morning. And I had a big knot on my head. Bad or something. COVID's crazy, man. It'll get you in ways you never thought.
Yeah, you're right.
My
people-
coffee tasted like cyanide.
and bleach.
Bleach.
Windex.
People hit the fucking panic button. You remember Katrina, right? Some of the most solid, steadfast people I've ever known in my life, they just got stuck in neutral. You know what I mean? When that panic button hits, people either motivate and do something, or they just go into neutral and don't know what to do. COVID, I saw the same response with COVID, even from my own family members, that they were just part of that mass hysteria where people didn't
Don't know
the
what
fuck
to do. Yeah.
Well, there was a small. Well, maybe not that short, but there was a time
My
where
penis? My penis is not that short.
Congratulations.
Well, when I was sick prior to, it was right before they announced, this new COVID virus, and we're all going to stay home and everything. So I was already home for like a week, working from home. So I just kind of rolled right in and just kept working from home the whole time.
Which may or may not save your life.
Yeah, it was great.
What if you got as a secondary infection? You know what I mean? Because your immune system is usually decimated after an infection like that. Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say.
It's okay. I got plenty of things to say. So you think in the next year they will re-lock down? I mean, I know you don't know, but
I think the cost.
so you think herd immunity, right? We got to be kind of close.
That experiment already happened in Europe, where they can experiment with basically anything they want to, right? So herd immunity does not work right now. At least that's what the literature says. I don't know if it's skewed or not. Was it?
What do you mean?
Was the
Because
Switzerland?
Because you can get it again.
Yeah, Switzerland, Sweden, one of the European bloc countries did the herd immunity. They didn't have restrictions.
Yeah.
Right.
They just let things go whatever the fuck they wanted to, and they ended up having one of the highest infection rate, and their mortality rate was extremely high as well.
That nurse I was talking about, which, by the way, I just want to say, the girl I'm with right now, love you, baby. But she caught it 3 times. From what she said. She said she actually caught COVID 3 times because she worked closely in the ER and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know. If you read the current CDC guidelines, they state that even though it's an extremely low probability, that they are assuming that you can get a secondary or tertiary infection.
And I say
of
that
COVID.
she tested positive three separate times over a period of like 6 months.
False negative, false positive.
Or my wife works with somebody who got COVID like 2 months ago. He still can't come back to work because he keeps testing positive. For 2 months, he keeps testing positive.
See, and I know this
Is he
dentist.
symptomatic?
No.
I know a dentist that tested positive, closed his practice. 2 days later, tested again, was negative.
Well, that might be just a negative, a false negative, or a false positive.
Exactly.
But he gets tested like every 3 or 4 days, and he can't come back to work. He keeps testing positive.
So the CDC guidelines state, I had to write a letter for a patient recently to return to work, and the CDC guidelines state that even if you had a positive test, you should expect to possibly test positive in the future, but as long as you're asymptomatic for a certain amount of days, then you can issue a return to work letter. But the patient has to be asymptomatic. I think it might be 10 or 12 days.
And the doctor has to
Sign off
write
on
a
it.
letter.
Yeah, which is a liability issue.
So in your practice, do you see a lot of COVID, or you're on the other end?
No, I'm usually on the other end. We have we have very strict protocol, and I have good rapport with all my patients. So if they're symptomatic, they'll call in ahead of time, review with me, and I'll tell them whether they can come in or not.
So what do you cover mostly, like day to day?
Most guys, so I'm doing a men's only program, and most guys come in with symptoms of low T, mild depression, no energy, no drive, sexual dysfunction, stuff like that.
Man, I'm telling you,
I
it takes me like an hour and a half to wake up in the morning. And I'm tired all day long.
What do you do the night before?
Watch Game of Thrones. No, I don't do anything. I mean, I stay up later because I don't sleep much normally anyway. Especially right now, our industry is so on its head. I'm looking for stuff to buy online, and
You guys are fucking balling right now.
it's a disaster.
Sleep, alcohol, marijuana, all these things that people just simply don't know. It's not that they take for granted, but a lot of those substances will drastically, it's called tanking your testosterone.
Yeah, I mean, I drink. We do this. That's about it.
A lot of people take a lot of protein or protein bars or things like that, and it's not animal-based protein. It's plant-based, and it's what's that called? It's not like it affects your testosterone. It actually raises your estrogen level.
Yeah, that's correct. Especially things like tofu.
No, I don't eat any of that shit.
What's the little green things you bake them, put oil on them, salt.
Soybeans.
No.
Edamame.
No, it looks like a little bitty cabbage.
Brussels sprouts.
Yes, Brussels sprouts will fucking tank your testosterone.
Really?
Yeah, overnight.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit.
Yeah.
I've been eating Brussels sprouts for the last 7 months.
Nah.
Well, kind of. I mean, my wife likes Brussels sprouts. But no, it's just been like this
You're
for
killing
like
me.
3
Well,
years.
given my testosterone level,
Yes.
I definitely got to come see you.
Yeah, you're. Well, I don't want to say that over there. We'll talk
Yeah,
after
yeah,
the
yeah.
show.
What yeah, I don't know. It takes me a while to wake up, and I have trouble sleeping at night.
Getting to sleep or staying asleep,
Getting to
or
sleep.
both. No, you wake up a lot.
No. Once I'm
I
asleep,
do.
I'm pretty much out. But I usually don't go to bed till like 1 or 2, and I'm doing work, other stuff on the computer.
Mostly to
buying
pee.
stuff
I'm
for
getting old.
work.
What about that's your blood pressure medication? What about your energy, drive, mood? You feel it's borderline depressed, lower? You know,
No, it just takes me a while to get going.
what
just
about
takes me a while to
what
get
about your
going.
drive to do things?
Mm.
Tanked.
Mm,
You're motivated to do anything other than your responsibilities, things that you used to enjoy.
I have noticed I weep at a lot of TV shows lately.
That might be a symptom of low T.
I cry from 8 o'clock p.m. until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, stop.
No, it's really just a tired feeling all the time.
Get
I mean, we get a lot of stuff done. I don't think it's no, I can get to it. I can get after it at work, but it's just for about an hour and a half when I wake up, I just cannot wake up,
It just means you might be just in
See,
a
I-
hole
and
of
it's just
sleep.
tired.
I
Just
pop up first
tired
thing in the
all
morning,
day.
but I mean, ex-military, it's kind of drilled into me, and I can go balls out for, a good bit of time and then crash.
So for me,
Well, that's interesting because mine's level, which isn't always like a tired.
that's
it's a
probably
level
more sleep and
tired.
stress, which
Yeah.
would also lower your testosterone. For me, it was a like you. I wake up at 05 and I can power through the day and do whatever I need to. But I didn't have a drive to. I didn't have the pizzazz behind me anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. it's
Like if
similar.
a choice
Just like
between
that.
going out and doing something or staying home watching TV, I'd stay at home
Staying
and watch
home
TV.
and watch TV.
Dude, that was me last year. I mean, it hit me overnight. And like I was telling you guys before this started, I argued with my own primary care doctor that I really thought it was thyroid based. And when my testosterone levels came back at those levels, I was like, the fuck out of here. When I have a beard, I thought I was a sexual tyrannosaurus. I did not think that I was look at me. I'm not fat. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke weed. I thought that it was testosterone related. I mean, thyroid, but it was, my testosterone was
Yeah, well, I'll have to come
shockingly
get.
low.
I'll have to come get tested, maybe.
Yeah, even just a general workout.
I've been wanting to do that because I went to a couple places, like checkups and stuff, and I wanted to get we get tested for drugs, we get tested for lead, in the range. I was kept getting them. I'd pay it. I want you to test me, and they act like there's no test for any of that. They say, well, you have to tell us exactly what you want to get tested for. I said, well, my main levels of if anything
Of
jumps
everything.
out at you, testosterone. Well, there's
Gotta be
we
specific.
don't do any of that.
Yeah, it was not his job, right? And
Well, I don't
that's
know what the fuck I'm talking
right,
about.
right. That's their job.
Right.
But that's a common denominator in today's society is that. Boy, I mean, this is a whole nother show on the problems with medicine, right? But it's always
Right.
somebody else's job because they don't get compensated for it. You only have 15 minutes to get the patient in, review the history, review medications, find out what the problem is, and then do a diagnosis and treatment.
Maybe the person behind the desk had low T. Didn't want to deal with it.
It was a woman. It was a woman. And she's actually really nice. I go and see her like once a year. And as soon as she sees me, man, she starts laughing. She laughs and laughs because I hate getting my blood drawn.
Do
So
you?
it's like a 20-minute thing. She has to come in.
Talk you
I said,
down.
look, you gotta just
Stop
give me
you
a
from
few
crying.
minutes. Just the other thing. I got my underwear on my head. I got a lampshade on my head. I'm going crazy. I say, look, just give me a few more minutes. And, she'll come back and she'll say, all right, you ready? I said, all right, fuck it. I'm not ready, but go ahead. And then she'll miss
Just
my
do
name.
it.
I'm like, oh,
On you?
just get the... Yeah.
Dude, I could stick you blindfolded.
Yeah. Well, she did too, I guess.
And you, yeah.
She
I'll get a
stuck
guy
me
with
on.
Parkinson's to get you.
But I just don't like it. So when I go, I would like them to You know, I don't want to do it 5 times for 5 different tests. And
Come see me. I can get you done on one visit and get your results in a second.
yeah,
That's
I'd be
easy
interested
peasy.
to know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know why I'm so focused on it, but what drove you to go into your spot away from people? Was it just you didn't want to get sick, or did you think something was coming down the pipeline?
Well, all of you bastards know I'm a
Well, no,
I'm
I
an
mean,
isolationist by nature.
right? But was that it? Or
Um,
was there something in the back of your head that said, "Man, in 2 months, this could be a worldwide pandemic that we've never seen that kills 20% of the population"?
No, I mean, I was sick to begin with, so I didn't want to go out and infect my family and friends and stuff like that. And it just happened to overlap with the COVID lockdown.
Survival of the fittest.
It-
Thin the
that's-
herd.
Hey, look, Darwinism, baby.
I know.
It's coming.
It shows you how quick though things can get wild. No toilet, like I don't care if I have toilet paper. I got a hose, but no toilet paper. No toilet paper. You know, there was
They didn't
no
have toilet
soft
paper
drink.
back in the freaking
There was nothing.
pioneer days. They used
Yeah,
rags and just washed them.
but I mean, even
Here, baby,
after
wash that.
a couple days, man. You know, things can dry up. There was no large cases of bottled water. There was no, you know, and if it took one more turn, it'd be a real problem.
And look, that's when the animals come out.
Right.
I mean,
yeah,
look,
3 days, no food, no water.
Well, yeah, because you could tell that just in the grocery store.
Yep.
Look how many people immediately ran in there and bought as much shit as they could, just like those guys that bought all the hand sanitizer from Sam's or whatever, cases
right.
and cases of it.
That's right.
And stored it in their garage and hoarded it, and then wanted to sell it for 3 times more than what it was worth.
Yeah, 300% more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then got busted with it, and then they said, you know what?
We'll donate it.
Right.
Yeah, just to keep their asses out of jail.
Right, exactly.
That's the me generation or me world or society that we live in now. Everybody's always out for themselves, which is, that's sad.
You have
Ask me.
any, and again, I know it's not your realm. You have any thoughts on it
Mushrooms?
being
What?
generated by a foreign country? Have you looked into it at all? It's pretty interesting.
I don't anymore because
Like the specs on it, and again, like we were just talking about, I have no idea if
Right.
it's true or not. You know, you don't know if anything's true or not. Or
Came from the
news.
Wuhan Chemical Laboratory.
Well, I mean,
I
look,
love
that
Trump,
was
dude.
close. And if you even if you pull multiple sources, you know, it does well indoors with you know, a low temperature like a lab would be. Sunlight kills it almost instantly. UV light. It was just a few things that were pointing towards it may have come out of you know, a lab that they were.
Well, what about the new strains? What about there's 2 new ones, right?
mutation.
The one in
Yeah,
the
that's just
in the
normal,
UK
though.
and one in Africa.
That's kind of normal though,
Yeah.
for it to mutate like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. Survival of the fittest, like you said
Yeah.
earlier. I don't get involved with it anymore because I'm not a passive person. I always think, will this eventually lead me to a clock tower with
Right.
30 rounds in that
Right.
last one for me? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I just totally disengaged with that because there's no end to it. You yourself or us as a small group, you saw what happened to a small group recently that tried to voice their opinion at the Capitol, right?
Yeah.
And now they're all labeled terrorists and extremists and getting outed on fucking social media by the pansy left.
Everybody
It's a mess.
loses their job. Everybody's desolated.
I just don't think we can stomach another one
Shut down.
soon.
Economically,
another
it
shutdown.
won't happen.
I don't know what the goal is, other than to destroy the economic
Or another disaster.
fabric of the United States.
You know, anything like that. A disaster,
talk
another
about-
shutdown, another, you know, the virus mutate. Anything, I think, would cripple, if not our economy, the world economy.
Yeah, but then you become fully dependent on your host government, right? Is that the
That's
end
what they
game?
want.
Well, right. Maybe that.
Fuck them.
We will take care of you.
Yeah, that's what they said.
We
is
got no
marched
choice
in.
now. We're in it, man, for 4 years at least. You better buckle up.
That's
Dude, I saw something today about all the
crazy.
executive orders that all the presidents have done. And like Clinton had 0, Bush had 1, Obama had 1 or 3, something like that. Biden, like 18.
How many Trump had?
0.
0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18.
In the first 3 days of their
I
presidency.
think most of them were in one day.
There's a video of him signing stuff, and you can hear
Yeah.
Biden whisper, "I don't know what I'm signing."
Yeah.
No, he says. He says, "What is this?
What is
I'm
this? I
signing?"
don't know what I'm signing. And he signs it anyway.
Oh, I believe it. That guy, you honestly, do you think that he can
So
think
what do
for
you
himself?
think he's taking? That there's okay. So there's obviously, and nobody can argue with this if you like him or not. There's obviously
A short circuit.
moments where it's much worse and moments where it's much better. What are they doing to him to get him to speak in public? And
B12 shots.
Maybe.
I mean, sometimes it's insane that he doesn't know that he's running
did
for
you see
president.
when
he
he's-
thinks he's running for Congress. Did you see that one?
Did you see when he was leaving the inauguration
And he couldn't
they had
remember.
the Marines lined up and they
Who's
were
going-
telling him
like, oh,
they were
slapping
telling him
hands?
in the earpiece, salute the Marines. And he was like, salute the Marines, and said it out loud instead of actually doing it.
The crazy part,
But then some videos he seems kind of okay.
the crazy part, the part that should infuriate you is the left voted for this guy. They
Yeah.
hated Trump so bad.
They didn't
That
care
they-
who was in office.
They put an incompetent, dementia-like person in charge of our country.
Well, they probably figure at the least he'll be in for 6 months to a year. They'll declare him unfit, and Kamala Harris will take over.
That's scary in and of itself.
I know. That's a whole nother level of scary.
My uncle texted me a day or two ago about, are they getting ready to, they passed legislature to impose like a 50% tax surcharge on ammo? You know anything about that?
No, they haven't done that.
No? Any
I mean,
rumors?
I'm sure they will.
Any rumors about that?
Well, there's plenty of rumors that they're
Yeah.
going to do all sorts of stuff.
Did you see any of the videos where in the very beginning when they were doing the vaccine thing, how the guy was in front of the cameras and they took the syringe and the plunger you could see was all the way down when they stuck him. It didn't move and they pulled it back out again like he didn't get anything.
Mm-mm.
There's a couple of videos like that too.
I volunteered. My significant other is still very upset with me about that, but I volunteered for one of the first clinical trials.
I know
here
4
in New
people.
Orleans.
They got both of them.
Mm-hmm.
The first, I guess it's 2 rounds. I mean, I have no idea, but they got the first one and the second one,
Mm-hmm.
and all 4 of them after the second one were super sick for like 2 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all between 30 and 40, and they all work in hospitals. But after that second one, man, it wrecked them.
Most of my friends in
And I don't
healthcare,
mean wrecked them like your butthole. I mean it wrecked them.
it stretched them out sideways. Most of my friends in healthcare have gotten the COVID vaccination, and none of them have had any side effects yet. I don't know if their kids are going to come out with 12 arms and no legs. And be
How
awesome
many-
They'd be
ping
good
pong
at
players.
basketball, probably.
How many healthcare workers? Because I
pong.
know quite a few who specifically say, like, I literally when I just went and had that scan done, the woman who did the scan was like, "I'm not getting it. That's bullshit."
Mm-hmm.
So how many healthcare workers don't want the vaccine?
The places that my friends work at, they don't have a choice. You get the vaccine,
Or you don't work
or
there.
you're terminated. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That's.
But how are they tracking? Like they give you a card that says, "Here you go. You now have the vaccine."
Yep. Yeah,
So they
especially
just
on
tattoo on your arm. You know,
that's right around the
Stamp your
corner.
hand with one of those
Right around
wiener
the corner.
stamps.
Got your
You
red
ever
badge
see
of
what it
courage.
talks?
Get your ass out there.
Mm-hmm. Ass wipes.
So Monday morning quarterbacking is always fun, but how would you have, just being in the profession you're in, how would you have handled COVID on a large scale, like in the U.S.?
I don't know.
Because I think we didn't accomplish anything, and we lost a lot of people, a lot of money in their professions and their careers and their businesses, and it seems to be that we're in the same part right now that we were in August of
Yeah,
last
isn't that
year.
weird? Doesn't it feel like nothing has changed?
Nothing.
Well, if you look at the critics always use hindsight as 2020, right?
Right.
But if you look at any given country, regardless of the protocol that they've taken, the majority of them have suffered equally as much.
Oh,
as we
yeah.
have.
It's
So
wrecked.
I don't think there is a protocol. I think that, and I hate to say this, but quelling of the population. You know what I mean? It's really our fault.
And this was a pretty
We don't respect
mild
our-
one, right?
I'm sorry?
This was a pretty mild, unknown
You mean
pathogen,
compared
right?
to like the pandemic that wiped out, what, a
Right,
third
like-
of the Earth's population?
Right. Well, just in comparison to unknown, pandemics that may or may not have happened or in the future. Or
And we keep
that we
wanting
know
everybody to
about.
live longer.
I mean, I think it's killed like what, like 0.001%
1%.
of the people that have had it. It's very small, right?
Well, it's very small because we're living. But imagine if you killed your dad.
No.
That's the
Right.
significance
right,
of
right,
it,
right.
I get that, but I mean,
I don't think you can extrapolate to the unknown pandemics that are on the brink of happening.
it would just seem like this would be a pretty mild one.
But like, when do you say, hey, he's 85, he lived his life? You know, how much longer did you expect him to hang on?
I used to
And
have.
I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying, like, as a devil's advocate kind of thing. Like, does the government say, you know, look, we tried. Anybody over the age of 80, you're rolling the dice.
I don't think it's their fucking position to make that call. And I think
You know, we've never, in American history, had the government tell you can't go to work.
That's right. That's 100% correct. I don't think that unless you're walking in those shoes, I think it's easy when you're young and healthy to say 85 years old,
I
you're
do too. I
stamping
agree.
out.
Right.
But until you're in that shoe or until you're on that deathbed, I mean, you want every last minute and every last breath that you have, and they deserve it.
Logan's Run, baby.
Yep. That's right.
That was weird. That was like, what, 35?
Yes.
Yeah, and you got freaking killed after you get 35?
Yeah. Yeah, it's look, for me, it's just a natural course of being on this planet. We rape and pillage our earth, and the people act surprised that death and gloom is coming for them. I mean, what the fuck do you expect?
Well, you can only outrun it for so long. Like, we've gone so long with all these, you know, with not having any kind of major outbreak of something, and you know, we've kind of kept a good
Like
handle
every
on a lot
100
of stuff.
years.
Well, it's because we're desensitized. You talk about a major outbreak that still claims lives. Look at HIV,
True.
Right.
right? We just hear about it all the time, so we don't worry about it. Now you can get treated with meds and have almost a normal life expectancy if you live in a country and have the money to do that.
You could throw cancer in there.
Don't get me started on that. Johnson & Johnson.
You're
Why?
anti-cancer?
Because it's a moneymaker? Or is it Dow Chemicals C8 that's killing everybody?
I would like to plead the fifth at this moment, please.
Where'd you get
I'm
that
not answering the
shirt?
question.
Kmart?
Did you? They sold Yanni Jesus at Kmart.
You know, in the
Yo,
t-shirt area?
Jesus.
You bought anything good lately? Guns?
I got a B&T deployable brace.
I love BNT.
So I'm going to do probably get a 22 for it and then stamp it.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll be seeing you.
You have any machine guns? I need
don't-
to buy a machine gun, man.
when I get $30,000 to blow, I will buy a machine gun. My project right now is to finish my goddamn Land Cruiser.
What you doing to that?
Doing a frame off swap on it. Guy out in Redding, California is building a rolling chassis, FJ80 axles, Tundra brakes. I'm gonna do a LS engine with I think a 4L80 tranny on
What
it.
do you go like on the mountain, like in the mountains and?
In my mind, I do all the time.
I mean, I know Kevin used to, go out and do stuff.
Yeah. Kevin still does a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
He bought a Jeep again recently. Mine's just a highway queen.
Get rid of his Subaru.
Yeah, dude, I love that Subaru. Absolutely love it. I like the city. It was the last thing my dad and I worked on together.
Nice.
So it has a little bit of an emotional tag with me.
So if people want to find out more about you or reach you or come see you, where would they find you at?
FBI or IRS. No, it's they can just Google Men's Total Health in Metairie, Louisiana, and then give me a call and I'll be glad to see him.
And again, you specialize in low
Testosterone primarily, but I'll do a global or generalized health workup and plan of care for them once they become my patient.
So you're at one point you're doing like seeing sick people for the most part, weren't you? Or no?
I mean, initially, no, I've never done true primary care like in a primary care clinic.
So you specialize in low testosterone in men and
Yeah, but-
surrounding.
This is probably a topic for another show, but every patient walks in my door. If you address just the presenting problem, you're leaving 90% of it on the table. So every patient that does walk through my door, I try to address it head to toe. sometimes I have to get specialists involved that's outside of my area, and I have a really, really good repertoire of physicians in the local area that I trust.
Where are y'all located?
Metairie, you know where the where the FedEx Dome building is on Veterans? You know the Fidelity Bank next door to it? We're on that side street in the Fidelity Bank on the back side of it, between
Give
those
them
two buildings.
your address.
There
and
used to
phone
be a
number.
real good Korean barbecue place back there.
Yeah, there used to be a lot
that was
of
2 blocks.
small businesses
2 blocks
that
west of
don't
us.
exist anymore.
I know that place. They used to bring out the hot like rock bowls with the Korean barbecue inside. It'd always stick to the inside. I love that place.
Why'd they close? After COVID, they closed?
No, this was a long time ago.
Oh. Oh, it's all right. It doesn't matter.
I don't have
They
my
can- they can
address. with
Google
me.
it.
Sorry. Yeah, Men's Total Health, Metairie,
Google
Louisiana.
Men's Total Health, Metairie, Louisiana.
Yeah, you're right.
And are you, obviously they call, they're not going to get you on the phone, but is there other doctors too, or they recommend you, or?
Just me.
Okay,
just me.
perfect.
Yeah.
How many people you see every day, you think?
On a busy day, I might see 15. On a slow day, maybe 5 to 8.
That y'all didn't focus on COVID, did they shut y'all down at all?
Yes. Yeah, I was
Really?
delayed, 3 months before we could
Holy
even
shit.
open clinic. Yeah, so I was part of the...
You weren't essential?
Our clinic, they were building it, and they were getting ready to open right at the onset of COVID, and the contractors, all the inspections, everything was just on hold. So I was part of the federal and state unemployment relief. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I still have to pay my taxes.
Man, I'm so depressed about,
But what?
I don't know, just about everything.
Don't be
Low T.
depressed. Dude, if you got both your arms, both your legs,
Yeah, I am. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
That was a misstatement. I'm very happy. You got a wonderful wife. I got a new baby.
you should
It's
be.
just, man, the world just seems so upside down, man.
It is, but people, they stick their fucking head in the sands and don't want to do anything about it, or they take the opposite. Men's Total Health, there it is.
Hey, that's a nice website.
504-777-7590.
See, Paul's got your back.
What? Big shout out to Paul. Thank you.
Yeah, go see Shane, man.
Men's Total Health, 504-777-7590.
Nice. Anybody in the New Orleans, Metairie area, go check him out. Super, super nice dude. We appreciate him for coming in.
Also know how to
bullshitting
rap
with us.
Beastie Boys. I can entertain patients like
That's
that
extra,
as well.
though.
It's a $5
We
surcharge.
do not take insurance for that one.
Hey, I'm going to send a shout out to Joe Rogan and send a follow-up
He's
email.
the guy, the Podfather, man.
Yeah, I'm going to ask him to come do a co-host the next time he's in New Orleans area.
He needs to. We'll give him some range type, some machine guns.
Dude, I got a superhero costume ready for him.
There's
I
him
fucking love that guy.
and I've been listening to Steve Ranella. You know who that is?
Mm.
He's does the Meat Eater podcast. He had a show for a minute on. I think he's done his web.
Steve Ranelli?
Yes, Ranella. I think it's RENILLA. Super cool dude. He just goes all over the world, hunts stuff. Funny guy, but he's been on his podcast before too. He's all into guns. I'd like to get his ass in here.
You know,
There's a bunch of
Rogan,
people I'd like to talk to.
I treat Rogan to pop in the lid for veterans with PTSD, TBI, post-concussive syndrome, and stuff like that. The therapy that's offered with psilocybin and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
just
He's a big
foot-
proponent.
yeah.
Why do you think that is not
Mainstream.
more mainstream?
It's becoming there. Johns Hopkins did a recent study and published it with phenomenal results, but I think that it's a financial thing. I mean, if you look at this as a whole switching gears here,
Well, I mean, I know what you're saying, but why wouldn't a clinic similar in size and to yours? Why wouldn't they specialize in heavily monitored psilocybin, mushroom, anything that's psychoactive like that kind of resets people that have PTSD or a wrecked childhood, or why would they not dive into that?
unless you like guys with Kevlar vest and helmets on with goggles and MP5s busting your front door down.
No. I mean, if they extradited some legal, because I don't think anybody's ever died from that, huh?
No, it's
I just
zero.
don't understand why.
No overdose, no dependency, no addiction. It's a phenomenal. It has the potential to be a phenomenal treatment, especially for PTSD. Oregon is getting ready to start opening up psilocybin clinics because they just decriminalized everything across the board.
Who?
but they Oregon, the state of Oregon, the entire state.
Okay, so there's hope.
Yeah, there's hope right around the corner. And from my understanding, I haven't researched this myself, but there are active patents under consideration for some of the pharmaceutical companies for psilocybin. Even though you can go out in the pasture
Man,
and
that
go
would be
grab
great. I've never done it. I'd like to.
psilocybin. I flew to Thailand and did 2 rounds of psilocybin therapy, and I like to consider myself a.
Oh man, I'm glad you brought this up. I got a question then. Do you think that is? So there's
camps.
two camps, right? There's that it's unlocking a mechanism in your brain that is giving you all of this information that you may or may not already have. It could be in your subconscious, or, which I like to think might be a possibility too, that you are actually somehow traversing into another plane that
So then you're
can
talking
interact with a creator being, or
like taking a green elevator to the center of the universe. You're talking
Right.
about DMT
like
and ayahuasca.
because
and
it's
stuff like
very
that.
it's strange how many people come out of that with the exact same
Experience.
calming experience, that they aren't afraid of death, that they've met some kind of creator being that's responsible, that they understand the universe more.
They plugged
Just
into the
all makes
Matrix.
sense. Right.
Fucking love the Matrix.
What do you think that is?
Love it.
What did,
I'll give you a homework assignment.
okay.
Research DMT and how many known substances have been found to contain DMT.
Oh, it's a shitload of them. A lot of plants do. They think that the Bible, the burning bush, was a psilocybin tree or
Ayahuasca, something like
ayahuasca
that.
bush, right?
Yeah.
Which triggered a godlike experience.
Mhm.
You know.
I can tell you the very first experience I had. And I like to consider myself a type A danger-seeking person. Nothing that I've ever been afraid to do. I was not prepared for it. I really wasn't.
And it only lasts like 8 minutes, huh? 6 minutes, 8 minutes.
Psilocybin?
Yeah.
On maybe a different universe clock. It feels
a long
like
time?
yeah, it's a long time. I'd say 6 to 8 hours.
Holy shit! No, I don't want that. I want to be able to get out of that
Ayahuasca
in
is
10
short-lived.
minutes.
No, ayahuasca is short-lived compared to psilocybin. Psilocybin, I would say, is a moderate on longevity, and then LSD would be the longest. You can't unratchet from LSD, from what
Yeah.
I've heard.
Devin, do you have your keys?
To my
They're
pants?
in
Yes.
I do have my keys. It's all right. Come on in.
Making
Come
sure.
in.
No. She wants to lock up.
I got you. Just don't set the alarm. We have a gun store, ladies and gentlemen, so it's a shit show 24/7.
Roger that.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
super interesting. I'm glad you brought that up. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've never done it. I'd love to do it. And everybody that has done it, that's a proponent, there's not many that aren't, say that it's something that
should
we
do-
don't understand.
We should do an 8-hour podcast one day.
Yeah. Lock that door. Make sure the AC doesn't go off.
I have an idea.
Man, I'd love to. I'd just like to experience what. I mean, I don't even know what it could be.
I can tell you that there were fleeting moments I really thought I was Jesus. I thought that I was connected to everything in the room and in the universe, and even 15 years later, it changes. It made me a nicer, more
That's what everybody says, man.
yeah, and that's
A calmer, nicer.
Things
more
just don't get to
understanding.
you as much.
oh, look. I'm still a high octane, very reactive, confrontational person.
You got to fight in the parking lot before you came in. That song.
I don't know what you're talking about. That is not on tape, by the way.
That unconscious guy doesn't know what you're talking about outside.
That was self-defense.
There goes Ginger.
Yep. You can always hear Ginger leave. She's got
Demon.
a souped up, yeah, something like
Souped
that.
up Mustang.
It's a
Mustang.
One of those.
Yeah, I'm not gonna-
1 out of 500 that they made. That's her and Kenner right now.
She's going to jail. It's her and Kenner.
Yeah, it's her and Kenner.
That's the look everybody gave you when you coughed when first.
No, not me. I feel like Superman, motherfucker. I go in anywhere with people coughing.
When
No
COVID first
mask.
started.
I go to the gym with this nasal issue I have, and my nose is just pouring. You know, like I'm coughing, I'm sneezing, and I mean, I kind of like it. I like everybody.
Well, I already had it.
People look at you like you have the plague.
Right, like
I've
I'm
already had it. So
Frankenstein
even
walking
if I
around.
can get it again, I mean, I feel, great now.
Dude, I get
I
so
go
many-
anywhere, no mask.
But you walk in Winn-Dixie with a bunch of people in there, you just go, and people,
Done. They're like, see you later. Evacuate.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, I got so many other things worried about COVID. I'm concerned about it just because of the ramifications. But you just
I'm
be
not
safe.
so much concerned about COVID anymore. Just something in
Biden.
20 years. Well, Biden.
Biden.
Definitely. That whole Marxist ideology that separates people into groups is what I'm terrified about.
I
And
call
think
them-
it's the worst.
I call them the party now,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I really don't even like separating into the two-party
right.
system.
Why? I mean, why have a two-party system?
Doesn't make any sense.
That's old school. People are stuck in those beliefs that they have to vote one way or the other when they should be voting for what they believe in
Right.
instead of the colors. You know what I mean?
So crazy.
Yeah, it is. Oh,
got
and,
anything?
and one last thing, I want to say how much I hate Al Sharpton also. Although if I needed somebody to sue, like, I don't know, a big government agency,
Walmart or
yeah,
something.
I'd probably
or
choose Al
government.
Sharpton. I hate that motherfucker. Yeah,
Have
you're
you
right.
read about it? That's a whole nother podcast. I researched him a lot too.
Sharpton?
Yeah,
What? Really?
yeah.
I got a naked picture of him if you want.
He's a rough one, man. No good.
He con artist. That's how he made his name, right? And he's got the reputation and weight to back him up. Still a dick face, in my opinion.
It's it's not good. If
So
if you actually research it, it's just nothing but extortion and
Of course,
How do you feel about Viagra and Cialis?
for more than
Like
it's
for erectile dysfunction?
depends. Can you be more specific?
I mean, because I've tried both of them,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't. I mean,
I took Viagra once when I was.
I don't think it helps me at all.
And my whole face got red. I felt like I was on fire.
Yeah, that's what happened. Like my face got really red, but I don't think it helps me at all.
Which is why you need to be careful taking something like that.
Well, this was before I started taking the heart medicine.
It's before you knew you had the heart condition. Yeah, that's vasodilator.
Chicken egg.
Which one came first?
Yeah, I took it once.
But
when I was
neither
20.
one really have ever done anything for me.
No, me
Nothing.
neither. I got super red and super scared and sweaty and started screaming, running around.
Like I was hoping I would have like a 4-hour erection or something. It never happened.
No, me neither. I just got
People
super
say
red,
that.
man. Super red.
Until you see
Yeah,
it.
I know.
And people are like, fuck that. I've had patients with the implant, it's like a flexible rod. I've had patients with the pumps. There's a...
What?
Yeah.
An implant?
Yeah, they put a rod or a balloon inside of your dick.
You don't
and-
have a game. I don't know what the fuck y'all
Like the
talking
like the
about.
Reebok
They
pumps.
put a rod
Yeah.
in your penis?
Yeah, flexible rod. So you can, at any point, you can just basically flex it up. The pump, I think, is probably
Well,
better,
how did they
but
get it in there?
surgical
Surgery.
procedure, they fillet you. Wait, there's
Dude, you are committed if you're getting something
What?
put inside your penis.
the potential side effects for that. But I'm not down
What
with
if
that.
you keep blows up?
That'd be fucking hilarious, though. I read an article
Rip your stitches open.
a couple of months ago. There was a guy.
Paul's laughing.
Pla-
I love when people laugh.
There's a guy, a plastic surgeon. I think he's in New York. He claims to have perfected a surgical procedure that both increases the length and girth of your penis.
In 6 months, you're gonna say, "Has this man put something in your penis?" Call 555-5555 now.
You may
Al
Hey,
Sharpton.
my penis exploded in the middle of intercourse.
That's right. I used to do cadaver work when I was in college for the Louisiana Eye Bank, and I can't say this.
Was that freaky?
You blew up
Yes.
penises?
No,
I just scared about that.
although some of my friends might
Anything
might
weird
say
ever
otherwise.
happened while you were doing that?
Yes.
Like, hear voices and stuff?
No, I had a
Ghost?
DON, a director of nursing. I don't want to say the facility. I rolled in at this place that looked like Friday the 13th in a podunk town, and I went in to inspect the body before I started to do the harvest. And the DON wasn't present. So I knew where the room was. I went in there, put my kit down, and when I moved the sheet to inspect the body, it was the DON. They were playing a joke on me.
Oh,
and
my
she
God.
went, "Rah!" It is probably the first and only time I think I urinated in my
Holy
pants.
shit.
But it was the atmosphere. Like, it was overcast. There was a partial full moon. It just looked
yeah.
fucking creepy. And when she came out of that, I was like, I'm fucking dead. Period.
You haven't had anything else like
you're walking into-
supernatural, though, happen?
No, when I was a kid, I had a nightmare, I guess, that was so real I still question the reality of it, that Satan was in my closet.
I was
I mean, I could draw that fucking picture for you today.
I was living, and I think I know what it was now. I think it was sleep paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
But I was living downtown on Canal Street, and I woke up in the middle of the night. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I couldn't move, but I could see something at the foot of my bed.
That's called Rohypnol when you live right above Oz.
No, but I'm telling you, man, I can still remember it, and it scared the shit out of me.
Were you taking anything at the time?
No,
Nothing?
no. I just woke up and I couldn't really. I mean, I don't remember. This was like 10 or 15 years. This was a long time ago. But I remember I couldn't move, but I was awake, and I could see something at the foot of the bed, but I couldn't move, couldn't get up, I couldn't say anything, and I kind of just laid there for a second and convinced myself I was sleeping, and eventually went back to sleep. But that was really weird.
Scared the fuck out of you when you can't determine reality versus non-reality.
Right. Working with dead bodies, though, man, I would think you might hear a whisper in the dark or something. No, that's no fun.
Not many things except for big, ugly spiders really spook me out anymore.
Yeah.
Snakes, gators, sharks still kind of fuck with me. I don't go in open water anymore.
No. No,
that's a story.
I don't like bigger things than me in water.
Yeah, exactly.
With bigger teeth.
Anything like that.
Because you don't have a chance
No.
at all.
You didn't know they're there.
You saw that, what was it, a couple months ago, that old Marine in
Doing a
Florida?
harpoon with a shark?
No,
no.
his Chihuahua or whatever little bitty minuscule dog he had, a gator came up to the shore and smashed it, and that Marine got in the water and wrestled the gator and got his dog free.
Opened up that freaking gator's mouth.
What?
And that dog ran off.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's just another trophy for Marines.
God
you
damn,
know?
huh?
Yeah.
Jumped in the water and grabbed this freaking alligator from pulling his dog into the water. Little bitty yip dog.
And you saw the video of the guy, like he looked like he had 2 hip replacements.
Right, he was old as shit. And he reached in there and was like, and then that dog got out.
The dog wasn't dead.
No, it grabbed his leg. It only had his leg.
Yeah, got him before he drowned him.
No, I didn't see that.
That was crazy.
But the dog's like,
Yeah,
the whole time.
screaming for its
That
life.
dude I was telling
Boy
you
loved
about,
his dog.
That's right.
the dude I was telling you about, Steve Renella, goes into like, he'll go anywhere. So he goes in the U.S., Montana, he goes to Alaska, and then he'll go to like the Congo, he'll go hunt with the pygmy people, he'll go anywhere. And a kid got attacked by an alligator and bit, and he was bleeding out. And the people in the
Village.
the little village where he was still alive, and they were like preparing his death bed stuff, and he was able to he was there filming shit, like he was trying to fish for some big ass fish that's only
And they were pretty much just like, it's going to happen.
oh yeah, they said he was already dead. The kid was crying on bleeding out, and they evacuated him and saved him, but they came back and they're like,
He's a god.
what happens when this happens? And it's nothing. We bury him, and it happens a couple times a year.
Over there, I mean, you have no idea. Like,
Fucking eaten by an
how many
alligator.
times do you see those pictures of where they cut a snake open? There's a guy in it that just happened to be sleeping outside that got swallowed by this snake.
Dude, we were doing a 3-week down in Nairobi and Mozambique, and I was hanging out with these 2 other cats. We had like a 6-7 day laydown, rented a Defender 110, the wagon version of the D90. Did everything that basically we were not supposed to do, went off range, got clipped by a black rhinoceros, caved in the right rear quarter panel, ran out of fuel. Guy walks up in full African garb. It's got the skirt on with the rings around his neck. He's got a spear that looked like a fucking tomahawk. And he goes, "You guys need some help?"
In English?
Yes! I really thought I was hallucinating on my deathbed. I was like, like I could see his mouth moving and hear the words
Right.
come out, and I was like
you were translating it.
right. And I was like, I must already be dead. Comes back about 3 hours later. 6 of his tribesmen told us about probably 3 clicks to his village. I can't say that we were forced. I will say that we didn't have any other options. They had some ceremony going on that night, and the cup that they gave us after they changed us in traditional garb, painted our faces. It was like a lava rock container. The fluid inside had this really putrid, rancid asshole smell, and I drank maybe 2 ounces of it. As I was drinking it, I didn't want to refuse it, right?
Yeah,
but as I was
disrespect.
drinking it, 100%.
You'd be in that cup for the next guy.
Right. Well, my concern was as I'm drinking it and I'm watching, they were roasting a pig, that the 3 of us are going to be on that roaster. Right? It was a straight out hallucinogenic that they gave us, probably something peyote based or something like that. It was a weird experience. I don't know why I told that story.
I didn't have one, man.
Strange
Well, that's just
adventures.
the strange stuff that happens in other countries that you don't even, that
look,
people here just take for
look,
granted.
That's the
Yeah.
guy that saved the dog.
That's him.
Yeah, Paul's
See, look, he
legit,
pulls
man.
the
Paul, you
alligator
are the
up.
shit.
No, it wasn't this big, huge alligator, of course.
Fuck, it's an alligator though.
But right.
Dude, he didn't know that getting in the water.
But look, he yanks that sucker over to the side, and
Look at
he's
him.
pulling that friggin' his mouth open. The dog runs off,
Holy shit, the dog ran
and then he
off.
pulls it. He lets go. And
Look, he
then
was
walks
underwater
up.
grabbing for that alligator. He didn't know how big that thing
He's like,
was.
"You motherfucker!"
Yep, that's right. He's like, look, my right hip's not
I can
working.
see
Slow
Gunny
down.
doing that.
Jesus Christ.
Take my dog, you son of a bitch.
I'm surprised he didn't just rip his mouth open. Right? That's what I would have done.
What's the holy shit.
Almost looked like he pulled a big penis out of his shorts. I'd be like, what show we watching right now?
Isn't that crazy?
Midget strippers, beer. I don't know what you're talking about. You ever see that movie? They serve beer
Dude,
in
that
hell.
is nuts.
You didn't see that movie? Dude, that movie was filmed based on a college out of Shreveport, Centenary College. You guys have got to watch Netflix that movie. Do They Serve Beer in Hell?
Okay.
Oh, it's fucking one of the all-time favorites.
I always love a good movie, man, that I haven't seen yet.
Oh.
Because they got nothing. They haven't filmed anything in the last.
If you like deviant, raunchy behavior, you need to watch that movie tonight.
Nice.
Do They Serve
It's
Beer
on
in Hell?
Netflix?
Think so. Do They Serve Beer in Hell? Can you check out and see if that's on Netflix for us?
Do they
Already
serve
checked
beer in hell?
Yeah, Do They Serve Beer in Hell? It's I'd say one of my top 5.
What's-
Below The Matrix.
It's a
Fucking love The
comedy?
Matrix. Yes. I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler.
Well, no.
Okay.
Don't. I'm
All
gonna
right.
watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'll watch it tonight and when I
Midget strippers.
Go in hell. All
What?
right.
Well, I definitely need to come see you.
Come.
Everybody
come
go.
see me. I'm like, put the Astroglide down right now. Yeah, dude, come see me. Look, I tell every patient, you may not like what I'm going to tell you, but I'll tell you the truth and at least
No,
give
I
you
mean
a game
that's
plan, move
that's the
forward.
best part. I mean, I want you to tell me straight up what the hell.
I don't want to break HIPAA, but I had a patient recently bring a spouse in with them for a follow-up visit. And when I walked in the room, the guy told his spouse, "This is the guy I was telling you about right here." And I was like, "What did he lie to you about?" And she said, "He told me that when you first met him, first visit, you told him he was fat and he needs to get his fat ass in shape." And I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty much verbatim." Because he asked me, point blank, "Your opinion? Do you think I'm a fat ass?" And I was like, "Yes." Yes, you are. Maybe your fault, maybe not. Let's find out what's going on. But you definitely have and yes, I'm a weightist.
He wanted honesty.
What did he?
Good.
Okay, so that was it. That was his problem.
No, there was some.
We probably can't talk about all that.
I mean, I can't say his name, what
Right.
he looks like, stuff like that, just to protect HIPAA.
But I mean, what did he want from you?
Figure out how we can live a healthier life.
I got you.
If there's a medical reason behind him not being able to.
I
That's
hope they
it.
serve beer. in
I
hell.
hope They Serve Beer in Hell 2009, and yes, it's on Netflix.
Perfect. I'm on it.
Fucking awesome movie. Love it. All right, what else?
Hey, thank you, man.
No, man, it's been a pleasure. I absolutely
It
love
was
you
good
guys.
seeing you again.
Same
man.
here,
Every time
brother.
we get together, it's funny.
Same here.
It's always a trip.
You ever need a guest host? I'll be glad to come over and
We'll
share with you
definitely
guys.
have to ring you again soon.
Yeah, you're right.
If you got anybody else interesting too, you bring them on with you.
Oh, dude,
We've only been in this studio for like 3 weeks. We're still putting stuff together, so it's brand new. We haven't even advertised yet. So after we get like 6 or 8 episodes, we put it up, then we'll have something to advertise, and then we'll start rolling. But
I can get some medical guys on here and girls if you need medical opinions. But if you want to just a straight up off the hook interview, you can get in touch with Cody Scott.
okay,
Yeah, you've met Cody before. I'll give you his contact information.
let me know.
He's
Cool.
Bring it, coming with him.
he's special. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm not taking part in that conversation. No.
I've been trying to get you never watched the Stern Show? I've been trying to get Wendy the retard in here. Oh, she's a
who's
trip,
that?
man. A slow adult that is wild, funny. She's a trip, man.
I might have a friend that matches that description.
Yeah. All right, one more
Absolutely.
time. If they want to see you,
Men's Total Health, located in Metairie between Fidelity Bank and the FedEx White Dome building.
Thank you to our sponsors, Jefferson Gun Jefferson, or the Shooters Club. I'm Devin Burgess.
Frank King.
Shane Schruff.
And our producer, Paul. Thank you, Paul. We'll see you same time next week. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. All right, bye.